James Madison can say it made the college football playoff. That's about all the Dukes want to remember from Saturday night's brutal experience. Number 5 Oregon demolished number 12 James Madison 51-34 in a game that was never competitive. The Dukes' defense was overmatched, overpowered, and overrun from the opening kickoff. Oregon scored touchdowns on its first 5 drives, totaling 34 points on just 21 plays. That scoring streak only ended when Dante Moore threw an interception on a deflected pass at halftime. The dominance continued after intermission. JMU had a punt blocked and returned for a touchdown, and Oregon surpassed 50 points before the third quarter ended. At that point, it was time for the Ducks to pull important players and prepare for number 4 Texas Tech in the Orange Bowl. But credit to James Madison, they kept playing hard despite the scoreboard. The Dukes' offense held its own all night, with Moore finishing with 4 touchdown passes and 2 interceptions, plus a rushing touchdown. Malik Benson caught 2 scores, while Jeremiah McClellan and Jamari Johnson had the others. Oregon controlled the line of scrimmage from the start and was much faster sideline to sideline. By the third quarter's end, the Ducks averaged over 10 yards per carry, with De'Air Hill Jr. and Jordan Davison each surpassing 60 yards on just 5 carries apiece. The blowout sparked predictable reactions questioning whether Group of 5 teams belong in the playoff, but that criticism misses the point entirely. College football's leaders signed off on this format, and both James Madison and Tulane earned their berths fair and square. Want to blame someone? Blame the ACC for being so bad in 2025 that a 5-loss team won the conference title. But even that's foolish because the format is changing again in 2026. According to an agreement signed by conference commissioners and Notre Dame, the 4 Power Conference champions are guaranteed playoff spots regardless of rankings starting next year. Only 2 Group of 5 teams will make the playoff instead of the current setup. Notre Dame got a sweetener too. If they're in the top 12 in final rankings, they're automatically in. If those rules were in effect this season, Notre Dame would replace Miami and Duke would replace James Madison. But the Dukes did exactly what they needed to reach the playoff in a college football world where the chasm between haves and have-nots grows wider every year. While schools like Texas Tech and Ole Miss can reshape entire rosters in a single offseason thanks to wealthy donors, teams outside power conferences increasingly serve as farm teams. Look at JMU. When former coach Curt Cignetti left for Indiana after 2023, 13 players followed him to Bloomington. As current coach Bob Chesney heads to UCLA for 2026, some of these players will likely follow him west. If you like upsets and Cinderellas in the NCAA basketball tournament, you should want that possibility in the college football playoff too. Giving teams outside power conferences a shot at pulling an upset is worth the cost of occasional first-round blowouts. We're not far removed from mass consternation about blowouts in the 4-team playoff. Michigan State and Ohio State got shut out in semifinals, and Oregon, which led 34-6 at halftime Saturday, trailed 34-8 after 2 quarters in last season's Rose Bowl as the number 1 seed. Blowouts happen. Not every game is competitive, but those blowouts make massive upsets all the more special.